right, so in the program this morning, we are taking the conversation to another level. So we're looking at district officers as stewards of sustainable development in the built environment. And today, our excursion is taking us to Agbado Okeodo. And joining me in the studios this morning, I have a town planner, Adegbola Yetunde Sherifat. She's assistant director with the Lagos State Physical Planning Permit Authority, LASPPPA, and she's also the head of Okeodo District Office. Town planner Yetunde, it's nice to have you in the building. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
And how was your journey here this morning?
Very well.
Great. How long did it take you to get here?
It took me about 30 minutes from Okeodo. I came very early.
Oh, okay. So you stay at Okeodo,
Yes,
work in Okeodo. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Joining her as well, senior civil engineer with the Lagos State Building Control Agency and also head of the Okeodo District Office. And I'm talking about engineer Funmi Ajayi. Nice to have you in the building, engineer Ajayi. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You're welcome to the station.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So we're going to be situating your place in all of this. But I know last year there was a campaign that was carried out, when we were talking about the amnesty for planning permit approvals. That has been concluded right now. But touching down on what it all went down, how it all went down within your locality, town planner Adegbola, talk to me. How was it during that period?
Yeah, the amnesty period actually went well in Okeodo, and we had so many people that came in for the application. And we had about 1,000 applications then. So it was very, very useful. The people, they really, really cooperated with the district office and Lagos State governments as a whole.
Wow. 1,000 applications during that period alone?
Wow. For 2 years. Yes.
That's huge, really. How were you able to handle that? I mean, that means lots of people were trooping to your office every day.
Yes, because there's a time frame for the amnesty period. So lots of people want to. So the staff and the general manager coordinating the district office. You have to go extra miles, working extra hour for us to be able to deliver within 10 days.
All right.
That's all.
Okay, Engineer Ajayi, how was it in your own office for LASBCA?
LASBCA, it was more on LASPPPA because
they are the ones issuing planning permits. Yeah, but a lot of times they come to your office as well for advisory capacity. Is that correct?
Yes, those in charge of those trying to do new construction.
Okay. They will always come around.
Always come.
So, but from what you see, even before Mr. Governor gave that amnesty, is it very correct to say that most buildings didn't have planning permits in your locality at Agbado Okeodo? Engineer Ajayi?
Yeah, it was.
From what you see?
From the results we saw during the amnesty period.
Okay.
But now, most people have put in for their approval and have obtained their approval.
Right.
And that has spread around. So even before you start construction, people are already coming to process the approval.
All right, let's look at where you guys are. Is it Agbado Okeodo or just Okeodo?
Mine is Agbado Okeodo.
Yours is Agbado Okeodo. And for you, town planner Adegbola?
Yeah. As at till about February, March this year, it used to be Agbado Okeodo. But looking at the volume of work and for us to be able to get closer to the vicinity, to get to the people living in the area, the district office had to be divided into two. So we now have Agbado separately, we have Okeodo separately.
Right. So you are in charge of
Okeodo, please. Okeodo.
So let's look at the areas where Okeodo covers within that particular group. So what communities? Yeah,
Okeodo covers them Agbelekale, Aboru, Odota Road. When you're coming from inside the estates, from command to command Ajasa to Meron down to Lagos Abeokuta Express Road, then back to Yanopaja, then Kokumo Street. Then that's where I covered. But in between the enclave, we have Agbelekale, we have Aboru, we have Odota Road as major road, we have Ekoro Road as major road, and we have Giwa as major road. All
right. So very shortly too, I'll be speaking with the district officer who's in charge of Agbado. Is that correct? She'll also be joining us shortly as well. But let me come to you, Engineer Ajayi. What areas your supervision? What areas does it cover?
She has mentioned the Okeodo path. So the same coverage area, but now including Agbado, including part of Abulegba, part of Yanopaja.
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Just those areas with the one she earlier mentioned.
She mentioned.
Yes.
And Town Planner Adegbola, these communities that you mentioned, are they very big, or is it highly built areas?
Yes, like I said earlier, the whole of Agbado was about 4,000 hectares, but now it has divided to, I cover Okeodo now is about 1.9 hectares.
Wow.
So you can imagine how vast that is going to be.
Right.
But really, there was actually the issue of federal land and Lagos State land. So most actually,
is there any difference?
Yes, the most of the things there around that place was for federal acquisition.
Okay.
So when the Supreme Court judgment came in 2003, June precisely,
right,
within Lagos State governments and federal governments, and Lagos State government won that all land in Lagos State governments belongs to the Lagos State governor, and they had so everything that you want to do, you have to go to Lagos State governments. So that's most of them, they have the federal approval. So they believe that since they have the federal approval, they don't have to get any other approval. But sometime later, there's a publication that they can now come to get the Lagos State government's approval and regularize, which I think is what contributed to the large number of applications we had during the amnesty period.
Wow. And most of them, they're still coming, right?
Yes, they are still coming now. Even those that have not even built with the federal approval they have been sensitized that Lagos State government has sole rights on all land in Lagos State government, that they should come and regularize their land from federal to state, and even the approvals.
All right, let's talk about your constitutional responsibility as district officers. Let's start with you, Engineer Funmi Ajayi. What's your responsibility there as the district head of Agbado Okeodo for LASBCA?
Yeah, so my constitution writer to make sure that to monitor and ascertain all ongoing constructions within my district, and also to identify distressed structures and defective structures within my district, and also to enlighten people and sensitize people about the building plan process, the authorization, state certification process, and how to go about a smooth and easy seamless construction process.
All right. Now, LASBCA is more or less like the enforcement police.
Yes, sir.
For the physical planning, right?
Yes, sir.
So you guys do much more monitoring.
Yes, sir, we do.
Are there approvals that people need to get from you?
Just authorization before you start your construction.
Okay, before I commend construction, I have to come to LASBCA.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get to LASPPPA then. Town Planner Adegbola, Yetunde, what are your constitutional responsibilities?
Yeah, the constitutional responsibilities of a district officer, basically, the first of it is to support the authority, which is LASPPPA, in ensuring that people get their physical planning permits on time in a seamless process, by making sure that we have these things that we are in LASBCA now. We have make dreams come true by giving you approval in 10 working days.
Okay.
So that is what. But as a district officer, I'm to make sure that the approval process is seamless. Then I sensitize the people when necessary, that they need, if there is any information from Lagos State government to LASPPPA, then from LASPPPA to the district office or the area that we need to cover. Like there's Alimosho modernity plan, which has been updated. There's a reviewed one. As soon as it comes out, we need to get informed the people that okay, now we have a model city, but now we have a reviewed one whereby the density, the height, and every other thing that makes a development permit that has been changed. That we need to get the people informed. Then I need to make sure that in the approval that I granted, they once in a while we go out like 2 times or 3 times a week to make sure they follow the approval that have been granted. In a situation whereby there's anywhere that they didn't follow it, get in touch with LASBCA.
And how soon or how often or how quick can people get the planning permits? Yeah,
the planning permits by and large should be 10 days. That's what we call planning permits, a seamless process.
10 working days?
Yes, please.
All right, so within 2 weeks, I should be able to get my planning permit?
Yes, please.
Is there anything that could deny me from getting this in 10 days?
Yes, what you could deny you is basically if you have a residential use like ground and force, which is the most used what you have in Okeodo district.
What do you call it?
Ground and force, residential ground and force.
What does that mean?
That's the ground floor, the one suspended floor. People call it 1-story building.
Okay.
But we call it ground and force to make it 2 floors.
All right.
So then that one is very, very easy. You just get your about 10, but it's some places where you have commercial.
All right.
If you understand, you have commercial, You have special uses like NNP, gas plants, filling station, and other uses of church. You have some where you need to get clearances from other MDAs. Right. Sometimes we advise the applicant to get those clearances so that the approval can be ready in 10 days.
Let me take this call that's calling in persistently. Lagos Traffic Radio. Hello there. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Funmi.
Funmi, how are you doing?
I'm fine this morning. How are you?
Very good too. So talk to me, Funmi. Where are you calling from?
Ladies. I'm calling from Ikeja, GRA.
All right, go ahead.
I wanted to ask the officer that was speaking, what exactly is the difference from federal approval and state approval? Because I understand that the state is under federal. So if I have a federal approval, what makes it invalid? Why does Lagos State think a federal approval is invalid? Why do I have a federal approval after paying all the statutory fees? I still have to pay again in Lagos and statutory fees. Tell me the difference between federal approval and state approval. That's one. And two, I'm sorry, I have two questions. I just need to run it briefly.
Okay.
What is the officers? What are they doing about corrupt officers amongst them? They say it's 10 days seamless. My brother, it is not. I don't want to bore you with several examples. It is not because we have officers amongst that organization who are punching the system. Okay. I would like them to address it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Funmi, for that question. All right. So, even though I know you touched on it earlier on Town Planner Adegbola, what's the difference between Lagos State and the federal approval?
The difference with the Lagos State is not the difference between Lagos State and federal approvals. Most times, our regulations, the standards, the operation development plans that we follow might be different. But basically, because of there's if you have a property and the property now belongs to me. You have your own stance. Okay, you have to follow this. This is what I have to follow. In the situation whereby when you go through the approvals and we are not in line with what Lagos State government, our own operative development plan wants, we may have to regularize to Lagos State government. And most importantly, that the land, everything in Lagos State, either development, either over or under land, over or under the water, now belongs to Lagos State government.
Okay.
So as the rightful owner, we can always claim, okay, this is what we want. You have not done this. You have not done this. You have to do it our way. There's some things that.
So even if you have a federal approval, you still have to come and regularize with Lagos State government.
Regularize with
That's what the law says, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, Funmi, I hope that answers your question. And she also touched on corrupt officials. Engineer Ajayi, is there anything that your agency, for instance, is doing to ensure that those who are, doing some shortcuts at the back can be properly dealt with? Is there anything the office is doing?
Yes, sir. So most the operations with LASBCA is pretty seamless, and the state certification we are asking you to call us for, you already paid for it when you paid for your approval. So there's really no contact of exchange hands in LASBCA. Okay.
What I'll just say, Funmi, just listen, because I have some numbers here. The ministry has empowered me to give you some numbers. If you see anything that talks about corruption, they are there to respond. So I'm going to be giving this number. Just keep listening to the program and definitely we'll be able to touch down on that. I'm going to be taking a short break right now. But before I do that, for you, Town Planner Adegbola, you said in 10 working days, the planning permit approval would have been released. Is that correct?
Yes.
In 10 working days.
Yes.
And you said the only reason why that might not be would be due to maybe you said grant them first?
Yeah. No. What I'm saying is what may delay the approval not being granted is you need to get some MDAs. We have our allied MDAs that we work with. Like you want to do a person filling station now.
Right.
You need to get clearance from Ministry of Energy. You need to get clearance from DPR. You need to get clearance from fire service. And you need to get the police reports.
Right. So those are things that could delay.
Yeah. In case some of those things are missing, the applicant might be in a hurry to put in the application. In case some of those things are missing, we might have to. Then at the end of the day, when we grant our own development permit at the end of the 10th day, if you don't fulfill your tax obligations, the approval will not be released to you.
Okay, then we're going to take a short break right partner. This is Buildright on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. When we return, I will tell those numbers, and of course, the town planner, perhaps the district officer heading the Agbado end of the LASPPPA, will be joining us as well on the program.
Dear Lagosians, the vision of making Lagos a sustainable and resilient state through community regeneration and inclusive physical planning begins with building right. We all have a role to play in achieving this vision in line with the Lagos State Urban and Regional Planning and Development Law of 2019 as amended. Do you know that before buying a land or building on it, you must check for the permissible use from the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development? Do you know that you must obtain a planning permit and authorization to commence the construction of your building? Do you also know that you require state certification and certificate of completion for building construction in Lagos State? Estate developers must obtain layout approval before developing their estates and obtain full planning permit after the expiration of a provisional planning permit. Dear Lagosians, do not carry out unapproved renovation, remodeling or demolition. Do not break the seal on an enforced property. Do not obtain fake planning permits, and do not abandon uncompleted buildings. Do not break the law. Build right in accordance with the state operative development plans. Let's work together to make Lagos a sustainable smart city of choice. For more information, download the Lagos State MPP UD app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó Àjùmọ̀ṣe Announcer, Lagos State Government.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Buildright is the program. Is making a return after a little hiatus. And of course, this morning we are connecting with Agbado Okeodo. Quickly, back to the roads. Most of the areas still looking pretty cool and calm. Okeodo Road, not bad at all, but watch out for some slowness around the intersecting points. The corridor that takes you to the island is also looking good as well. We're talking about the Third Milan Bridge, not bad at all. Eco Bridge 2 is also faring pretty well. But broken down truck at the Terminal 1 gate by the open ditch inwards Johnny Oshodi. That's Oshodi okay. But personnel strategically positioned to ensure that you have it good at this time. Okay then, so let's return. You can join the conversation, by the way, 08099120777. Joining me in the studios right now is town planner Fatima Folake Aka, who is assistant director with Agbado Okeodo. Am I correct, madam? Agbado District. Agbado District. Okay, nice to have you join us. Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
All right, so we've been talking on the roles that district officers play within the Agbado, and you supervise the Agbado district office. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Talk to me. How's it been for planning permit approvals there?
It's been faring well, and it's always a seamless process.
Okay. Your colleague earlier on talked about the fact that planning permits are issued with nothing less than 10 working days. Is that correct?
Yes, very correct.
What has been your own experience?
The 10-day due contract. If you submit your requirements, every requirement needed will get your approval ready in 10 days.
In terms of those that come up for these planning permit approvals voluntarily, how's it been for you, at least, let's say in the past 1 month, in the past 3 weeks? Are people really showing up?
Yes, people have been showing up. We have some people that voluntarily comply. And we also have some people that wait till we enforce. That is, I start serving our statutory notices before they come up.
Right. Your colleague earlier talked about the fact that you guys issue planning permits. So how many types of planning permits do you guys issue?
We actually have 2 classes of planning permits. They are provisional permits and full permits, depending on the title documents that you submit. If you have a CFO and governor's consent, you likely get a full planning permit. But if you have deed of assignment or any unregistered title or family receipt, you get a provisional permit. We also have other types of permits. I've just spoken about the classes of permits,
right.
But types of permits are demolition permits, renovation permits, remodeling permits, revalidation permits, restamping permits, and the rest.
Okay, then I have some questions that are coming here for you guys in the studios. This one says, good morning, Traffic Radio. It says, Engineer Ajayi, if someone wants to report unsafe or illegal development, what should they do? Thanks. Yemi is sending that one in.
Oh, there's a number to call.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a
Okay, all right.
official number to call.
We'll give those numbers as well. This one says, good morning, district officers in the studio. How do you think that the public can support your efforts? Taiwo is sending that one in. Okay, so what kind of support would you guys need, especially in Agbado, Okeodo?
Actually, we need the cooperation of the public when it comes to achieving a seamless planning process. It should be a collective effort. When they embrace building rights and they bring in all the necessary documents, we process it for them and they get their approval. Actually, coming to our office is having it in mind that your dream will be fulfilled when you come to us, and we are always ready.
All right. So, town planner, where's your office located? Let's reflect on that.
Our office is located opposite Abeson Central Mosque by the retail market within Abeson low-cost housing estates.
Okay, that's where your own office is located.
Yes.
All right, I'll find out from town planner Adegbola shortly. But Engineer Ajayi, where's your own office located?
Our office at Mosholashi Roundabout, Yanopaja, Lagos State Building Control, Ali Mosho Building.
All right. Message here says, but let's hear from town planner Adegbola right now. So, where is your own office located? Your own office?
Yeah, we actually share the same building.
Oh.
Yes, the Lagos State Fiscal Planning Permits Authority opposite Abeson Central Mosque.
Okay, that's where you are.
Yes, please.
All right. A message here says, good morning. How does your offices handle resistance from developers who want to cut corners? You didn't put your name. So, and I'm going to put that to, Engineer Ajayi, for instance, you are from LASBCA, and I know a lot of developers out there are doing some kind of things that they want to cut corners. So, how do your office handle that?
The enforcement department handles that by enforcing and setting up the structure. And if the developer proves stubborn, demolition on the structure, outright demolition on the structure.
Okay, that's what happens.
Yes, sir.
All right, a question here says, Victor, are there standards that every building or developer must meet in Lagos? Kwame is sending this one in from Egbeda. So, in terms of standards, how would you respond to that? Maybe I should give that to the district officer heading Agbado.
Yes, there are standards. We actually have the operative development plans that guides our operation. In achieving a seamless process, like you said, people have to follow our regulations and standards as we have it in the approval holder.
Okay, so the standard is something that people must definitely follow.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's begin to round this all up right now. So, Engineer Ajayi, for those who are building, you said earlier on that before anyone can build, they're supposed to connect with you. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
If I go ahead and start building after getting my planning permit, without getting in touch with you, what's the implication of that?
That means you have contravened, and you're going to be penalized for that.
You penalize me?
Yes, sir.
So I have to pay,
Our
right?
enforcement, depending on how big your infractions or contraventions are.
Okay. All right. Let's begin to round this up right now. Your message to our people. Let's start with town planner. That's Agbado Okeodo, town planner Fatima Folake.
Okay, Agbado.
Agbado, rather.
Yes, my message to the people, my parting thoughts is for everyone to ensure that they come to the office, our offices all over Lagos State, to obtain their planning permit, which is a seamless process. And we can assure them that their dreams will be fulfilled and they will get their planning permit in 10 working days, provided they make submission of all the required documents as and when due.
Right. Okay, and to Engineer Ajayi, quickly.
So, as my colleague has rightly said, I would advise everyone building, owners, developers, to obtain their approval and invite LASBCPPA for stage certification of each critical stage of their construction. Okay,
then, town planner Adegbola, quickly, in 30 seconds. What's your
my person is I want to talk to us as citizens of Lagos State and Nigeria. If there is a situation whereby you see someone that is not building according to what you feel is up to planning standards. We have what we call whistle blowing.
Okay.
Always, please endeavor to call the numbers I'll be giving to you now.
Right.
You get in touch with the district officer, the AGM, the manager, or any other person. We take actions as soon as possible.
All right.
Then, if you are bringing in your application, please always ask for the district officer.
Okay.
You go to the district officer's office
And
to
then
give you what and the things that you need to do to get your planning permit in a seamless process.
We'll leave it at that for now. It's nice having all of you in the studios. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
you.
All right, we do appreciate you. All right, so for the helplines from the ministry, Fumilola, you asked that question earlier on. Quickly, let me give that to you. The first one is 070 3065 3241. That's 070 3065 3241. 070 3065 3241. And the second one is 080 3469 8264. 080 3469 8264. 080 3469 8264. Those are the numbers. We have to go now. The program this morning has been produced by Mike James. I say a big thank you to Akinsoya Adetola, who's Chief Public Affairs Officer for the ministry. Same for Sanusi Mukaila, who's the Director of Public Affairs for the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. From our social media team, we do appreciate Deborah Bolodioku and Okwemi Shodunke. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. My name is Victor Oteri. Till next week, when the program makes a return on Thursday by 9:15, I say have a splendid day. Bye.
Dear Lagosians, the vision of making Lagos a sustainable and resilient state through community regeneration and inclusive physical planning begins.